We are live. I'm hoping so. Redirecting. Here we go. And ready, get set. Are you ready for Whispers from Eternity? Let's just see. Just waiting here for the technology to give me a thumbs up. We are live. Okay, so here we are today, folks. I'm here at the Blue Lotus Temple. Nayaswami Hriman here, and hello, friends. Our reading today is a very interesting one as we approach the time of Thanksgiving. I'll read it now. Number 171. I want to pour the scent of gratefulness at thy feet. Now, this is an interesting reading, so let's pay attention. The doomsday clouds of inevitably tragic events thundered and poured down sheets of suffering on my life. My courage almost drowned in fear as a million difficulties rose up to destroy me. Only by clinging fast to thee did I survive. Now, when the cannons of uncertainty boom before me, and the shells of calumny, persecution, and fierce opposition fall rain-like around me, I am ever protected in the impregnable fortress of thy love. I am so grateful to thee. When the light of good fortune dawns again, as it must always, following every hard night of struggles, it is easy to smile welcomely at the pleasing sunrise of thy grace. During dark nights of misfortune, however, I find it even sweeter now to offer thee the flowers of my appreciation for being always there protecting me. I offer all my gratitude at thy feet of deep inner communion. Receive me, my eternal beloved, in sacred silence. Wow. You know, one of the greatest lessons of dealing with difficulties, greatest tools, is gratefulness. You know, it's so easy at the time of Thanksgiving. Everyone gets around the table and home and says a prayer and thank you for this good food and thank you for my loved ones and so on. And that's fine. We should, of course, be thankful for the things we enjoy. But when we can be thankful to God for the gift of life, for the divine presence in the stillness of silence, inner communion, as this prayer demand suggests, then we can weather the storms that, as the prayer demand says, are inevitable. You know, the inevitability of trials and tests and tribulations is not something I sense that the American mind is all that oriented. We're a very enthusiastic and very optimistic group, at least generally and historically in the past. We've encountered difficulties and surmounted them in wars and depression, etc. So I think that's our nature, and that's a good nature to have. If we dwell too much on the inevitability of doom and gloom, we will become doomed and gloomy. But nonetheless, we also want to face life realistically. And if you do not invite God into the winter of your life, then don't expect to find God in the summer of your life. So, and vice versa, if you don't invite God into the summer of your life when things are going well, then you may not find him in the winter of your life with divine grace and consolation. Last Sunday at service, I told the joke about the Irishman who sent up a prayer looking for a parking place, and then he found a parking place a moment later, and he said, "Oh, never mind, I found one," even though he had promised to be a better person in his prayer if he could find a parking place. Well, that is all too often how we are. And so this inevitability, and speaking more in in real-time terms with our pandemic struggles, which has resurged as we're all seeing in the news, I think it's very, very important to deepen our connection through the practice of inner communion, which is to say the practice of entering the state of silence, because this is where our strength comes from. It comes from within. Now, it's true that I'm just getting a phone call, and I'm going to nuke that phone call. And so it's true that when you study the lives of people who respond positively to events, maybe they're courageous, that response, that courage, that ability to act calmly comes in that moment, but it does come from within. And the daily practice of prayer and meditation develops kind of the inner nerves of steel to face reality as it is. And even in the blissful moments of happiness and so forth, we can still, without being doomy and gloomy, we can still face what it is, enjoy for what it is, but not be attached to it, you see. Because by inner communion and prayer and inner silence, we live more on a level where the ups and downs of like and dislikes and pleasure and pain and emotions begin to settle down, not into a dull state of apathy or indifference or stoic, endurance. No, into a happy self that's calm, confident, responsive, creative, present in the moment with what's happening. This is a strength I think of millions, billions of people are in fact going to need in the years to come on this planet Earth. But why do we have to wait for tragedy and challenges to develop it? Because even if we were prosperous, etc., and healthy, and the world was at peace, can you imagine? Well, don't bother. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But even if it did, you and I would still have our own personal, emotional challenges. So this counsel, to be still and know, is the greatest gift, the greatest counsel anyone can offer to us. But I appreciate this prayer demand for contrasting and admitting, contrasting the joys of life, or the success of life, with the inevitability of this tragedy in a calm, grateful way, accepting that this is the reality of Earth. And then we can live our life to the full because we've been blessed with true wisdom. Okay, great souls, that's it for today. And today is Friday. And so we're off for the weekend with Whispers, and Padma will return to you Monday at 12 noon. Okay, great souls. I'm going to